In our American judicial system, no role is more significant than that fulfilled by jurors, everyday citizens who bring their experiences, intellect, common sense, and commitment to decide life-altering legal matters. You, the juror, make the difference, and we welcome you to this important work. Florida's 6th Judicial Circuit includes Pasco and Pinellas counties. The Honorable Nikki Alvarez Souls, Clerk and Comptroller for Pasco County, oversees the clerk's office in its support of judicial activities in our county.
Good morning. On behalf of your county's judicial system, we welcome and thank you for honoring your responsibility to carry out a time-honored service that forms the bedrock of the United States justice system. It is our office's mission to make sure your service as a juror is as pleasant and as comfortable as possible. It is our hope that any concerns you may have may be put at ease as you learn more about the process you are embarking on today. If you still have questions or requests after viewing this video, jury team members are standing by to assist you.
As a juror, you will make impartial decisions based on the facts presented to you. Your participation fulfills an indispensable function of our legal system. You and your fellow jurors will be the sole judges of the facts of the case before you and how those facts apply to the law. While there are exceptions, the average length of most trials is from 1 to 2.5 days. Your obligation for 1 year will have been fulfilled whether you serve on a panel or are dismissed once the jury selection for the pending trials for the day has been completed. Circuit and county court cases are tried in both of our courthouses. Circuit court trials involve alleged criminal violations of state laws at the felony level and civil cases where the amount sought is more than $50,000. County court trials involve lesser alleged criminal violations of state laws, including misdemeanors and criminal traffic cases, and civil claims of up to $50,000. Whether you are selected for consideration to help decide a criminal or civil trial, the initial process will essentially be the same. The judge will briefly explain the circumstances of the case, as well as describe the layout of the courtroom, identifying the various parties in the process. The judge will then invite attorneys to conduct an examination of potential jurors, known as voir dire, from the Old French meaning to speak the truth. Voir dire is the process by which attorneys on both sides question potential jurors, gathering information about their backgrounds, their experiences, their opinions, and whether they have connections to any of the trial participants. They may also ask if there are any other situations that may not make them a suitable candidate to serve as a juror on that specific trial. Some questions will be addressed to the entire pool summoned to the courtroom. Others will be directed to individual jurors. Voir dire is intended to produce a jury panel that each side believes will hear testimony and weigh the evidence without prejudice. The Bill of Rights guarantees a trial by an impartial jury and that a jury's verdict shall be based solely on the evidence and law presented in the courtroom and only in the courtroom. Once the jury has been selected, the trial begins after the panelists have been sworn in. By taking the juror oath, you promise to disregard any personal prejudices and pay close attention to all of the testimony being presented without any outside influence. Once the trial begins, you can expect attorneys to present opening statements. In a criminal case, the prosecutor, a representative of the state attorney's office, goes first. In a civil case, the plaintiff's attorney is first, followed by an attorney for the defense. Next, the prosecutor or plaintiff's attorney calls witnesses and presents evidence to support its case. Representatives for the defense will have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses and to challenge exhibits before they are allowed into evidence, becoming part of the court record. When the prosecutor or plaintiff rests, that is, completes its part of the case, the defendant's counsel will have the opportunity to put on its side. Now it will be the prosecutor or plaintiff's turn to challenge exhibits and cross-examine witnesses. Finally, lawyers on each side deliver their closing arguments. When they have finished, the judge will then instruct or charge the jury as to the law that applies to that particular case. Once the judge completes the instructions, the jury leaves the courtroom and retires to deliberate, that is, to discuss the case and ultimately reach a verdict. When the jurors reach a verdict, they will alert the bailiff, who notifies the judge and the other interested parties. Soon after, jurors will return to the courtroom where a courtroom clerk will read their verdict aloud. Throughout this process, there are rules you must follow. While you are serving as a juror, you must refrain from reading about or watching the news. You are expected to turn off news alerts on your smartphone, and you must not engage in online research or communication about the case or other legal issues during this time. Additionally, an innocent but misguided social media post by a juror is not harmless and may force the judge to dismiss that juror. In some cases, a judge may declare a mistrial or overturn a verdict. This is extremely serious. Jurors who violate their oath can be, and have been, charged with contempt of court. If found guilty, those jurors may have to pay a fine, serve jail time, or both. The judge may allow you to keep your smart devices for your convenience. However, at no time is it permissible to use your mobile phone to capture video, audio, or still images of the proceedings. We get a variety of questions from potential jurors and are going to go ahead and answer some of the most frequently asked. First, how was I selected to be here? In Florida, jurors are selected at random from qualified driver's license and Florida identification card lists, not from the rolls of registered voters. In Pasco County, the courthouse to which jurors are invited generally depends on where they live. In most cases, jurors living east of the Land O'Lakes area report to the Robert D. Sumner Judicial Center in Dade City. Those living in Land O'Lakes and to the west are typically summoned to the West Pasco Judicial Center in Newport Richey. There are rare cases that require a judge to ask the jurors be summoned from the entire county. These special circumstances include, but are not limited to, capital murder and eminent domain cases. So what if you feel you are unable to serve? Section 40.013 of the Florida statute states the reasons a person must be disqualified or may be excused from jury service. However, during voir dire, jurors with hardships have an opportunity to describe their special circumstances to the judge in open court or privately. Only the judge has the authority to retain or dismiss jurors. While you are a juror, it is our goal to make your experience as pleasant, comfortable, and convenient as reasonably possible. It is the honor of your jury service team to assist you with any questions or requests you may have.
We hope this video helped answer any questions you had. Thank you again for your time, intellect, and energy as you perform one of the most important roles of the American judicial system. Remember, you, the juror, make the difference.